Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That's what I've got.
During the time that we were on the campaign trail this last year, and I'm new to the committee and new to the process up here, one of the items that we talked about a lot was the anticipated cost to the average American family with regard to an increase in their cost for electric rates. The United States Chamber of Commerce last summer, I believe, estimated that the average cost to the average American family would be approximately $1,400 more per year in their electric rates. I was curious, Mr. Parfit, in a recent statistic
You're next.
that comes in the case of my state, South Dakota, that our electric rates would increase probably about 20% or more as a result of the Clean Power Plan. This is significantly more than the 8.8 cents per kilowatt hour that South Dakotans pay now. According to the Wyoming Public Service Commission, compliance costs for the 111D proposal could well exceed $50 per ton of carbon. What impacts will this have not only on ratepayers in Wyoming, but also on ratepayers in surrounding states? I know that people in South Dakota receive power from Wyoming. Wyoming, as you indicated earlier, supplies power because of your location to the natural resources available. You've been an exporter of power. Could you share a little bit about what this will have to the rates for people in the other states as well?
Well, yeah, and we do provide power to many other states, and if our compliance path, as we've viewed it, based on the proposal, results in the premature closure of plants and the stranded assets, it would likely result in raising of rates for all the customers, not just those in Wyoming. That would be shared across the network.
Well, what does the EPA propose, or how does the EPA propose that you respond to those stranded costs? What's their expectation?
This is an issue that we had raised with EPA before the proposal was put out to notice, in hopes that would be taken into consideration. And in our view, that hasn't been taken into consideration, and we don't see, at least at this point, the off-ramp. And we've expressed this concern to EPA in our comments, and so we're waiting to see how they might respond in June when they come out with the final proposal.
So you have not had a comment back, or there is not a process in place within this to get a response back for the stranded costs that you've indicated your state would have and would have to pass on to other states that also expect the electricity, or the places where your organizations have contracts with to provide ongoing electrical power? Those stranded costs, you don't know how those would be handled?
At this point, EPA has not conveyed to us how they would address that particular comment. The conversations that we've had with EPA have been primarily to get clarification on some of the corrections that we pointed out within the proposal itself.
The EPA claims that the rules give states flexibility to create their own plans, but it appears that it overlooks the fact that electricity transmission does not stop at state borders. Many states, including South Dakota, depend on neighboring states to help support their own electricity generation and ensure the reliability of the grid. The EPA's modeling suggests that under the 111D proposal, Wyoming could cut its generation by 7.5 million megawatts, or million megawatt hours. How will Wyoming continue the power of the regional, how will you continue to power the regional economy with cuts like this, and is that an accurate statement?
As far as how we would continue, if we're looking at closing down existing power plants, that would create a reliability issue. However, this is getting a little bit out of my expertise, would be within the expertise of the Public Service Commission in terms of how to maintain the reliability of service to all of its customers.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.